made it through another day here and got a little bit more information. Well, actually didn't get any more information about, didn't get an answer. Got an answer from that Dan Bud, but he didn't give an answer. So he said he was going to talk to the attorney, which is good. So very surreal. Only by the glory of God is this still the way it is. So I know for sure it's him doing it, and I know he has control of this situation. He's the one who is going to have the final judgment. So judge that shall be judged. You go by the law that you the law, the sword, the agape, the belief, the sword of division, the one that divides. So you'll be judged by the law that you go by. So final judgment is the concern, correct? You want to inherit this earth, be commanded, right, by the Father to do what he tells you and conform to his image. And he sent his son, and they put holes in his son. They want to put holes in you. So he didn't go by their law because they had perverted their perverted laws. And they killed him for it. Crucified him. Nailed him to a tree. Does anybody want to nail you to a tree? That's what kind of idiots come out of the Federal Bureau of Idiots. Some stupid corporation. Low man on the totem pole. So, hola. Another day. What a day. What the day was today. Boy, a lot of phone calls and no calls back. Can't imagine the hundreds of calls I've made. How do these people even do their job? They're supposed to be serving the public. You know, for example, the Michael Taylor that have been trying to, the elected sheriff, been trying to get him. You see Sam. No, you're not talking to him. They're all a bunch of Billy Bob. Push everybody around, scare everybody. Remember the realtor said they're afraid of the people. They're afraid. It comes from the realtor. Not going to stop. I can't read anything that's in capital letters. Sorry. Only my moderators get to type in all capital letters. So goodbye. You don't need to scream in here. You can use caps, but not all caps. All caps is reserved for my moderators. Only they get to type in all caps. So please don't type in all caps, or you'll be moderated out of here. They have to have some. Yes, only my moderators can type in all caps. So there's got to be some rules, brothers, sisters. These people don't like to go by the rules out here. They like to forward and pervert and twist and make their own and twist numbers. So let's point out to the fact that this whole nation is probably getting people just like what's going on here, just people too afraid to stand up to this law because it's analog and it's all written down so they can write whatever they want and twist and pervert. And it's not even, and I'm not into this whole technology age, but I mean, I'm here using this system, turning it on its head. And, well, why isn't it a digital probation system? It's not. So that system is designed to screw over the probationary or the parolee. They don't have any, they can't, no tracking. It's ridiculous what has gone on. I don't even know how I look at it and even see it can exist. It must be by God too, because it just, how can a system with the date, it's not like the computer was invented yesterday. I mean, how is the probation system not 100% all digital, and then they can have a backup paper, analog system if they choose. So I don't know, guys. A lot of people getting screwed, and now because of that system, the way they have it, they can screw whoever they want, and you can't get anywhere, and they expect them to keep their own hours, and then people work in different kind, charitable community, or different organizations like Food for Lane County and different programs over here. They don't have any of that because they just have road crew basically, or like work crew, like in prison where you get on a bus, So every place is a little bit different, but it's all working for the same, your hours that you don't matter what they call it. It's work. That's how my son got screwed, to thrown back on and double time. You have to do double. And now they're, going after him, trying to call the landowner. I bought my land. Instead of calling like the head of probation or dealing with they're wasting resources. Come out, drive out here, turn around today, park across the street, or turn the lights on, leave, a minute or two, just stalking, So what can you do? You keep fighting them and you clear them out of your town. You don't let them do this anymore. And you clean house is what I'm hoping I'll do. And maybe someday that in the near future, I'll be a witness to every person that's made a mistake in their life, that they can make sure they have some accountability by these people that are supposed to be servicing. I'm serious. I'm not into all this whole AI thing, but I seriously think robots could do it better than the people in parole and probation. These people in law enforcement, some of these dispatchers have just shown to be filthy human beings. Lane County has just made an absolute fool of themselves in this situation. Lake County proves that they don't want to do nothing, but go and do jackboot thuggery on everybody they want and scare the shit out of everybody. Apologize. People are afraid of these people in this town because they're able to run this town. It has a reputation. This is not the only town this happens. And if nobody stands up, they'll just keep putting their boot down even further. It's kind of like the way the United States of America has become, where, for the last 50 years, to be able to military vets, like myself, serve this system and allow the petrodollar to exist. And this SWIFT system says you're going to pay since 1973 that, yeah, we'll bring our military and crush you, your women and your children, that's the law. The military, big gang going around and thuggering everybody, saying you're going to pay for the oil since 1973 with the US dollar, using our gang of Air Force and Army and Marines to force every nation around the world with the boot of the neck of all the nations. And I live in that nation. No wonder there's no justice in this nation. Can't even get it right outside our own borders, go around policing everybody else. He said, no foreign entanglements. I thought the founding father of this nation said was supposed to be a nation founded under God. They don't even follow the law of the land anymore. They don't, but I do. So you don't have any authority over me. I can't even get the elected sheriff man to talk to me to try to expose what's going on to him. He's supposed to be the one that's in charge. I have documented probably 50, 60 calls, even live streams where they sent I told them, don't send deputies to my house. Sam Birch was there that day. So he should already know, if he came here already, it's crazy, man. That's what we need out here, Stone. This is getting bad out here. These people are afraid of this town. I just got on the phone with a realtor. The cops called him, and they're like, well, it's not a meth lab and it's not any drugs or anything, but, well, we can't tell you much. They were just fishing. I know what they're trying to do. Some code ordinance mandate. I won't adhere to none of that ever. I'll just burn everything you send in my mail, because that's the only way you can't come on my property. I remember I've held it up and told everybody in this town they have the right to, nobody can enter your property, not without a warrant. I don't care if they're federal DOD, NSA, I don't care who you are. That's the top. Then the national, the low man on the totem pole, the idiots, the Bureau of Idiots, federal It's just corporation is all it is. But I don't, code ordinance officer, I don't care who they are, sheriff, even the elected sheriff better have a reason to be on my property. I've asked him to come. He won't call me. Not even once have I ever got one call from the guy. I mean, he's supposed to care about this community. What a fail is a man that he can't serve a man that's trying to point out that things are going on in north, that I'm on the northern portion, and it's going down there too. It's jackboot thuggery all the way from North Lake to south. We're the bastard of the county, though. They don't even no funding up here. Got all the equipment down there. Let us stay sometimes in here, all snowed in up here. They got all the plows down there and all the funnies. They're thugs. They skim, you know. Well, that's the way it goes, Top G. So what am I supposed to do, man? I got to keep pressing these people. So the attorney said 55 hours, Elijah, you can't account for. So we do know that Dan Bud, yeah, that's it. Dan Bud. Sorry, Bud. Yeah. Is that in a Cheech and Chong movie? No, that wasn't it. Anyways, guys, come on. I'm trying to have some normalcy out here, guys. It's getting a little rough out here, guys. You know, just day after day after day, just wondering, are they going to break down the door and come kill us all? Or are they going to say, okay, I can't believe how many years now I've called and I can't get one call from the sheriff or the head of probation over in Lane County. Years, guys. Imagine once they look back at this and look at all the evidence and go, holy crap, that guy called how many times each one of these people? Nobody ever called. How do they do this, guys? How do they get my messages? And they're supposed to be public servants. See, I said a robot would do a better job than Kresha Brunsman. There's one person that does 100% need to lose their job, and that's the head of probation in Lane County. Kidnapped my son when I told her to look at his hours. Lily, it needs to go to that lady. I called her today. I've called her so many times. That was Elijah's original. I've looked that lady in the eye. We know. She knows I know that I was going after her for her rat, her rapist rat that they run out this county. So I'm exposing this county, brothers, sisters, for their thuggery, because they're the poorest county. They bring in a bunch of pedophiles and rats and murderers and rapists in this county, and they get funding for it. And they run them through the probation and parole system. That was happening here. My son got tangled up with one of them. Yeah, grown-ass man with a bunch of teenagers. And the rat criminal rapists served 13 years high on methamphetamines. And they know this, guys. This is crazy in my case. They know this, guys. They let this rat out and go run roughshod, bring in a bunch of young kids, and then they never prosecute them. They brought him up on charges, but they don't actually, convict him. That way they can keep their funding. All these guys take a plea deal. It's such a ring, guys. Well, why do you stay in here, official? It's still happening. Why don't you come out here and do something instead of shut your mouth and leave? Are you doing anything about what's the corruption in your city? Or are you just sitting here coming on a YouTube stream going, oh, they're talking about the same thing? Well, yeah, because it's still going on there, asshole. The hell out of this chat. This is for people who are trying to do something about the corruption that's going on in this area, not just being some kind of idiot that don't even have no substance. Get out of here, you troll. You ain't official anything. You're a failure. Leave. Get behind me, Satan. So I've been a little pressed, brothers, sisters. I've had to take, and they issued an arrest warrant for my son, and they won't even try to even look into anything. So I'm not going to stop, man. They're going to, and we're close, guys, but I'm not over with this because John Caligo, as I told him, why do I have to get the attorney? Why do they make me spend money? And it's not about that. I'm just saying it's freaking stupid. No calls, lack of communication. One call since this all started from the sheriff's office. And he didn't even care. He just tried to get Elijah to come surrender. Oh, come on. You got to work with me and I'll work with you. Come on. I got to see you. You got to see your body. Get out of here. What thugs, what criminals, man. I have a law enforcement, you know, from the, it's got to stand with Michael Taylor too, the elected sheriff who was never returned my call, not one time. Is he too good for me? Is he too good for this corruption, this, you know, township up here in his, you know, Lakeview down there? Is he too good for that? What about Ted, the district attorney? Why won't he call me back? Why won't Elijah's original probation officer? I looked her in the eye and she knows exactly I was following Elijah's whole hours. How the hell would she let this go on this long? The head of probation, I told her to look into the hours he'd already done out here at 1 day a week, which sometimes they made him go at least 2 days. She made him go through color guard, and I was kind of pissed. I'm like, they're making a piss test and all this. I'm like, you didn't have any charges for drug charges, Elijah. What's going on? He was on felony probation, so you know they made him do everything. This is such bull. These people are such thugs to be able, and the system is what it is, brothers and sisters. It's the system. Everything is analog. Nothing is hardly, most everything's written down. It's kind of winging it and round up hours here. And like, what's going on with my son? I think this guy didn't submit these hours, or they didn't accept them, or it doesn't matter, guys. He works sometimes when they'll, like, for example, you know, they'll go to lunch and stay there and they'll write their hours in that they stayed. This is not uncommon, right? It's, you know, your hours you done at 07, so you round up to 15 or 30. They tell them to do that. This is the way it should happen. That leads for all this error and, you know, beyond a reasonable doubt, you know, in a court of law. So we're going to make sure this goes in front of a judge before this ever. I called Lake County and I told that head of probation, if you try to kidnap my son again, like you did last time, I'll kidnap him. I won't let you have him. I'll accost him and I'll arrest him. So that's what I've done. And, you know, this is crazy. This should never happen, but it's going to go on, and I'm going to keep pressing forward to make sure before I die and leave this earth, if it's possible, that nobody's ever made a mistake, that at least to try to get them off the system, because that's what probation, like these action plans, are supposed to be designed to assess risk, reoffend, and according to each one's, you know, offense and crimes that they committed, and then that pushes their offense to a higher, to a lower risk, guys. It's not right, but it's written down. It's not. This should all be logged in. This isn't like we live in 1900 or something. I can't believe that people who are in this system have allowed this to go on this long, this way. It's criminal, guys. They have done what they've done. They made my son double. What are these people going to do when I can prove that Elijah's done his hours now that they want, which would have been double the hours, and then I get to go back and prove that he has all these hours they already did what they would never listen to me. See, and when he had those hours, when we go back and then she threw him in jail, shouldn't she go to jail, the head of probation? Because I called her and multiple and actually had a few conversations where she would never call me back again. But she knew. I asked her to look back out here at Lily and all this information. And back here, he had to leave his hours, you know, from this county to the next county. That's why it never said anything on his action plan. I visited his you know, we at halfway through, because he had done everything he was supposed to do, got all his hours to leave the county. You know, at halfway through, he had restitution, couldn't get it all paid off. But if I could have, my son with you, why would he be on here today talking about this, guys? Can you believe that? Because it didn't say on his action plan that he owed any. They didn't do it till the last 3 months. He got off probation. This is such a screwed up deal that they've done to my son. It is criminal. And so Crusher Brunsman, who will not return my call, is going to lose her job. How could she stay in that job? Her job is to help people get off probation. And my son has written her letters. Please help me. Please help me get these hours. You know, when they put him and gave him an extension for a whole year, he spent his first 6 months trying to get these hours. Unsuccessful. They won't talk to nobody, man. Lane County has made an absolutely a fool of themselves. A fool of themselves. They called one of the people who called in, tried to talk to them. They said that my son's girlfriend, his wife, I called her his wife, they've been together for many years, they called her a slut. And she don't dress that way. I've already said they've been together many years, never seen her ankle or her collarbone. I don't know what they're talking about, guys. It's criminal. That's the chief of police said that to Sarah. I don't know where Sarah been. I'm a little worried about Sarah. Has anybody seen Sarah? Sarah was like there, and she's just, did they go after her? They said they were going to go after her, guys. Lane County said they're going to go after her. It's crazy. It's criminal what these people have already done over the top of this. How can I make hundreds of phone calls to these people who are in this line of what is community service? Like Lily, Lilith Frank or Lily Frank. So just send your paperwork. What's that all about, Derek? Now, so they don't have any digital system. There's no paperwork like that. It's all just handwritten. Just check it over here. This guy doesn't work for probation, but he's a community and he'll sign your hours in, and this guy turns him in on it. It's such crap. How any of this is all analog is the way all these people in probation get screwed over. Yeah, they made a mistake, but whatever. You're not going to try to help them by getting them in the system by keep screwing them over. That's just going to make them hate the system even more. You talk about trying to make them not reoffend. Well, they're just going to piss them off, probably go reoffend. Well, my son hasn't yet, so that's why I costed his body, and I'm not going to let him get anal raped by some man. Thanks for coming in, Big Money. I'm trying to stand up to this law because they're tyrants and they're jackboot thugs, and they want to arrest my son. I won't let them. Nope, ain't happening. So we're like day 9 out here, standing up, not standoff. This is not a violent standoff. I've never called for violence, and I actually have called for people to call the news. And I need you right now to call Lakeview, call Lake County, and ask why have they not given Elijah his hours from over here? Why has the sheriff Michael Taylor not called Tracy Werner for more than a year or 2? I have video evidence. Don't send no deputies to my house. I need the elected sheriff. I got corruption going on out here. Don't want nothing to do with it. Just called Ted, the district attorney out here. They don't want to call me back. You remember when, Sam, when I said, hey, I need to speak with, Sheriff Michael Taylor. Oh, you're not doing that. You're not watching. They're corrupt. And I don't like the fact that people are digital. I don't like that, guys, but it's still, it's like we're in the age, we could do that and then have a backup system or something, give them a printout, give them something, a copy of it in paper. Come on, guys, this is crazy. How much is handwritten? It's criminal. They're getting away with I think it's just extortion. My son has become an indentured servant to probation. Cressida Johnson, Brunsman, kidnapped my son after knowing he'd already done his hours or wouldn't even look into it, which, again, all is going to get proven. They can't even ping in his phone and tech or anything. It's crazy. I hope I really do. I hope this goes to a national case so nobody gets screwed over like this ever again. I'm going to give this a lot of my life's work. I'm going to stay with this. I'm hoping this will be done soon. I had to call the attorney. I tried for 7 days straight pleading with them. Yeah, I need marshals out here, man. I'm not kidding, Dixon. These frickers I had the real estate people out here, who's been out here for 20 years. Instead of calling this elected sheriff and having him call me or Crescia or Lily, they called the landowner that I'm freaking buying the land from for, last 10 years or something, at fishing him. Didn't have anything to say about me. No, this Tracy, that's not a drug lab. It's not methamphetamines. I have the call, guys. But he said the people out here are afraid of these people out here. The law and all this county and all this, they're just thugs. I gave the issue of Tina Flowers, an innocent lady out here picked up in the store. She found a clear bag that had $4,500 cash in it. Nothing else. 49 bucks. She took it. She didn't want to give it to the store. She was afraid the person wouldn't get it back. She didn't want to give it to the cops because she knows she was corrupt. So she gave. Well, if you're a marshal yourself, get a hold of this story because I'm blowing this wide open, man. I've talked about reported murder. You see that guy in this description, Tom? I believe he's been running methamphetamines, and I believe he whacked his partners out here, guys. This is a small town, so people know, guys. Those are big, big insinuations, possible, defamation of character. But when I got the police chief of Lane County documented saying that Elijah's wife is a slut, they're making him do double his hours, guys. So I'm hoping my attorney, again, we got 55 hours not accounted for, which I believe that's just Dan Budd who didn't turn him in. And this, I've had the state police driving by, filming this place, the sheriff over here, binoculars casing this place, sitting out here, flashing his lights, contacting me, saying they know this live stream is going when I'm showing the head of probation, Elijah only had 30 hours to complete, and then they still threw him in jail. This guy's this is criminal, both Lane and Lake. We've had hundreds of people around the world, you know what I'm saying? Around the world call now, both Lake and Lane County, and been treated like absolutely cuss people out for calling Lane County. Mention Elijah Warner, click, that's it. So I told Lane County, and I called because I know I've been prior law enforcement officer myself, veteran and a military police officer. I know the law. So I'm not letting them kidnap my son. No, I'm not. And I've stood in, and I already called Lane County and said, if you kidnap him or arrest him, whatever you want to call it, you issue this warrant. That's an illegal warrant. And I will issue a warrant personally. I'll citizens arrest, whatever it takes. I'll arrest his body, accost him, and I will kidnap him, whatever you want to call it. Not letting you go throw him in a rape cage where he can be anally violated by some man who can't keep his genitals to himself. Because he's, Elijah says, oh, fresh meat. I don't even care. Don't act like things like this don't happen. So, yeah, no, this is the chief of police too, guys. Now I'm really worried about Sarah because she said she was going to hit it hard, guys. And I hadn't seen Sarah in here since. She came in here, guys. It's going to be documented. I'm a prior law enforcement officer, so I know how to document evidence. And that's what this stream is. It's an evidentiary documentary live stream to make sure we keep, for our safety. I've had to continue to live stream. The other day, that was uncalled for. So uncalled for, man. I'm tired of this. It just, I can't even leave here. This is crazy. Barricaded myself in for my son's safety, and being threatened, to throw my son into a rape cage again. It's unbelievable. This is supposed to be America. Where's the justice here? My son made a mistake. It was a property crime from this rapist rapist man who was released into this county, raped a Hispanic woman, a married woman, high on methamphetamines, and robbed her. 13 years in a Texas state penitentiary, released into Lake County on a contract for his remaining. I'm on these people, guys, and they hate me so much out here because I will not shut up. I will not shut up. And I'm a pastor and a teacher, and I believe that's the only thing, by providing my son, who is a man of God, to this sanctuary, a place away from this until this can get taken care of. But I'm right in here, guys, right under the barrel of a gun. And these people are known. I think Tom, Tom. We just call him by Tom because I don't even want to, the guy with this. That's me saying murder to his face. That's me saying, I reported a murder to you, Tom, and you didn't do anything about it. And you see him, he's like, because he knows he's guilty. I think that gentleman who's known for hanging out at the methamphetamine dealer's house, are you arresting him, Tom? Are you investigating him, hanging out with him, Tom? Are you the one running the meth through the airport, Tom? You guys, people in this town, if they'll just send the news out here, one, Tina Flowers, that money she picked up, she put it in her bank and gave it back to the police department the next day in the same denomination. She made sure she put it in a separate account. They arrested her 6 months later and drug her into jail, guys. Arrested her for that. You guys, they'll do whatever they want out here until somebody like myself either going to shoot me or kill me, because I think Tom's partners, there were 2 people who ended up missing out here. No, I'm not in Texas. I'm in Oregon. So this sheriff obviously is involved, and that's why he wouldn't do anything with the lady who I was saying murder, because he had actually talked to her. How the hell did, Evan, if we pulled the stream that I'm going, I reported a murder to you, Tom, and you didn't do anything about it. Oh, I was watching your stream. We know we watched your stream, Tracy. We looked into it. Never got a call back. What about all my stuff that was stolen? You know, nothing, guys. Just a bunch of thugs. Jack Boot. These people, you heard the real estate agent say, you know, he'd been out here a long time, you know, the one. Hey, Tracy. All I knew is he said Walt. I knew exactly it was you. How's it going? You know, Russ says, I work hard to still try to have a good name in this town because I work hard. I'm an honest man. Yeah, I teach the gospel, and yeah, I preach, and yeah, when you come around me, I'm going to talk about God or whatever. I stood up for these sheriffs during the COVID and told to try to get them to stand with these businesses. That's why Michael Taylor's pissed off at me too. My son exposing the sheriffs and Lily and the corruption and Tony the rapist and putting 5 people up on charges for the same crimes, not arresting the rapist running around the community. Let this rapist run around the community, the guy who every time you talk to him about not his rape, he would tell you it was something else, his crime. Oh, I was dating her and she turned me. We were on to him. He's a liar, and he works for Lily and Tom through the probation department. All these people are run through this. How many others are there? If you just bring one person out to this town, and organically, guys, you'd open up a can of worms. Okay? You understand? And we need to run them out because there's a lot of people who want to stay here. They're tired of these stuff. Tina was going to leave, guys. She came to me like, I'm leaving, Tracy. These people are after me, and I can't believe I didn't do anything, Tracy. I said, Tina, they got nothing on you. You gave the money back to them. You put it in a separate account. No, this is crazy, Tracy. I can't leave her. Tina, you just take it to the box. This is the poorest county in the world. That's why they rape the people of their, you know, actual resources by like calling my real estate agent that I bought my land from instead of calling Lily to see if Elijah really did have the hours back here, or maybe calling Kresha Brunsman to see if Elijah had. Why did you throw him in jail? He had the hours. You guys, it's because it's all handwritten and they get to do whatever they want and change this when they're, you guys, everything should be digitally. I don't believe in, I'm a veteran, you know, we're supposed to be a free, you know, innocent till proven guilty. Yeah, right. If you go into the system, you're screwed. They'll talk to you like you're a dog. Sit, lay down, shake, roll over, play dead. Good boy. Oh, sit back down. Come over here, lay down, sit it, lay, shh, quiet. That's how they treat them, like they're freaking dogs, just like these cops. Sit down, do what I say. It's got to stop, guys. They won't work with them. They tell them you got to get your own hours. You know how many times I heard, you know how many times I've heard that. Oh, well, you got to get your own hours. Elijah spent 6 months of his first year of extension after already doing it, redoing it, trying to get his hours. So it is Derek out here, but we got to get this law out of here. You understand? I'm gonna kick the law out of here. They're gonna come kill me. One of the two. I'll martyr myself for the future people who never, ever have to deal with this tyranny again. And I don't want to lose my life. I'm not trying to just sit there and throw myself, you know, But I'm willing to do whatever it takes, brothers and sisters, to see that my son, a rapist, they let run around, 3 young teenagers, and my son too, 19 at the time, grown-ass man, or grown-ass rapist, robbed, high on methamphetamine, released after, 13 years in this county on a contract, bring him up on charges, but don't actually convict him. That way you can keep the money. And these all guys take plea deals. Well, my son didn't want no plea deal, and he said, I know they're not going to find the fingerprints on these guys moved into my house. He didn't say a lot, but they never produced any DNA. They never actually produced a fingerprint of Elijah. They never did nothing, guys. And they went and just railroaded him. We're going to charge him and convict him anyways. And it took me saying, hey, I guess what? Well, checkmate, I'm going to go after your rat. You can find my attorney's call saying I'm going to get him. I can't. I'm not going to let my son get thrown in jail over this. I wanted equal justice. Is he done wrong? That's fine. But this rapist is still running around, and you're going to throw my son in prison? Nah, I'm going after the rapist. I have to do a service for this community. I'm not a vigilante, but I'll take him out. And my attorney said, Tracy, please don't. You're a man of your word. I know you'll let me call them. We'll figure this out. I say, you got about 10 minutes, John. I'm leaving. I'm not going to let my son get thrown in no stinking prison. Here we are again. And they forgot about me. I'm that guy. Maybe that's why Sheriff Michael Taylor won't call me, huh? Yeah, that's what my son is the only one who served 11 months. And I only asked for equal justice. If he did it, put him in jail he's the only one went to jail. The rapist never served any time. The other 3 who admitted to doing these crimes, they never did any time. My son is the only one who did time, guys. Tell me this is not from the beginning. That's why I got on to this, guys. I'm like, this is insanity. What's going on here? I never expressed, I want special treatment for him. I never said that. You're not going to find a record of that. I'm a man of God, and if you do the crime, you do the time. And so he did a property crime, got involved with this rapist who never went to. Can you guys believe this is even a reality that you're hearing? This happens in other towns, guys, but most people just, it's bad in this town, guys. I told you the real estate agent said he's been here for, 15, maybe 20 years. Christmas Valley Realty, here in Christmas Valley, he has the website that's said these people are scared of them in this scared. The people are scared of the law enforcement out here, guys. This has got to stop. It's got to stop, guys. So this is what Christ did. He stood against the law. He said, conform to my image through his apostle Paul. Romans 8:29. I also did foreknow. That means I had pre-knowledge of that. The word prognosko in the Greek. I also did prognosko. I had foreknowledge of the ones I predestined to conform to my image. You got to do what he did. Those are the ones he chose. He pulled them from their sin and their darkness into his light. He chose them to stand against the law and be persecuted, brothers, sisters. Yeah, that's part of the agape. He said, let no man steal your crown. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. The meek will inherit the earth, not weak. So I've never called for a revolution. I've never called for a revolution, brothers, sisters. I've called for a peaceful, right? Peace, communication, a resolution, not revolution. These people are out of their mind. They want to kill somebody. It's insanity. I don't understand how I know this has to be God. So there is a bigger cause going on here, brothers, sisters. This cannot happen to another person. Why is our probation system set up analog? Why are these action plans not digital? You give them a copy of it. If you want a paper copy of it, great, for your record. Why are they not given copies of everything? Why are they not allowed to pull anything digitally? Like my son, that I guarantee if you took 100 action plans, you're never going to find one probationer, doing their probation at the very last of their last 30 days, last 90 days, excuse me. It's unheard of. They do it on the front side like a loan. You pay the interest first before you start preying on the principal, guys. That's why I know my son did his hours here. I was involved the whole time. I was involved the whole time. There. Dropped them off before. They can ping phones. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, they're going to get it, guys. The Father will pour out a just measure on these people. I'm sure of it. They might be able to get away with it in this lifetime, and no matter what happens, I've discussed with my son, we have to remember he's using us as a vessel. So, it's a little warm here, guys. Put some hardwood in the stove there. Good guys. Good puppies. You guys have been doing such a good job keeping an eye on them for me. These dogs have done such an amazing job of making sure they've been watching them, guys. I haven't even had to ask. I haven't had to ask. They've done such an amazing job. You guys have done a good job, guys, keeping an eye on them. So, I think we can hopefully get this taken care of. Yep, that's why they did it, Derek. Exactly. There's tech in there that they can fire that thing up from anywhere. If they want to power it up too, they don't need it on. But if they want to power it up, and and yes, they can. Even a dead phone that's sitting there, that you can't take the battery off. So I got you. And why do you think they do that, Derek? Because they're trying to be like the Most High. I don't care what they hear or, and I don't care. I don't even care what the Father. I only care about the law that I'm judged by, that I go by, that, when the seventh trumpet sounds, and whether I'm dead or I'll probably be dead by then. I'm pretty sure by that. I mean, we ain't got that much longer, but we got some time before that happens. And then that's who I worry about judgment. I don't, you cannot serve two masters. That's why I won't go by their, brothers, we have to have a higher purpose, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying not to make this about me. I don't want to make this about me. I really don't want to make this about my son. This is bigger than Elijah John Warner have to do twice as much probation, being kidnapped by the system and thrown in jail. And then another arrest warrant issued after he's nearly, probably more than double too, because they won't give him any time for his hours served in jail. It's crazy. So it's okay. Keep using us, Father. We're going to keep going, but it's tough out here, guys. I've had to obtain legal counsel. That means, a good chunk of change, and I don't make any money like that, guys. I'm a veteran, and I don't get any disability benefits. I don't get nothing, no Social Security. I don't get any income coming in. So I've worked hard for what I have. These are hands that have calluses on them because they're dirt and hands and fingernails is honest work and honest, trading and bartering and selling and, turning a profit and turning that into something I can fix and sell again. So, oh, buddy, I love you. Hi, buddy. My bud's going to come lay with me. Listen, he's been watching these guys. These guys have been doing such a good job, guys. I hadn't had to tell the dogs one time. One time. I want to say hi to the guys. These guys have been keeping an eye on my son and his wife. The cops are driving around, stalking us and flashing their lights, saying, "Oh yeah, we're on the stream." You've done a good job too, buddy. I know you did a good job, bud. I love the guy. I love him too, boy. You're my guy. I know. This guy thinks he's a puppy. He's 13 years old. He's 13 years old, but you wouldn't know. Ain't got a gray hair on him. Proof if you feed your puppies good food. Oh. Well, much love, guys. Nice. Yeah, well, they just get the lamb and rice. So the good stuff, though, guys. I don't know if you have a Pet Supplies Plus by your place, guys, but I am just astonished. the prices that I can get the food from them. I only buy the diamond lamb and rice. It's proof that that dog is 13 years old, never been to the vet, and he thinks he's a puppy. You know, he's a black dog. He doesn't have that gray in his face. Doggy, hey, Biggest. No gray in his face. He's still got that nice white muzzle, but that guy's they're never going to go to the vet. But they're good boys, and they've been keeping my son safe. I've never had to tell them. They just stay over there, guys. These guys don't leave my side. Like, look at this guy. He's just fixed on dead. But they're going to come in and visit for a minute, and then they're going to want to go outside and be back with my son, guys. They have just done it. You haven't even had to ask them one time. This guy's quarter dingo. He's my hybrid. Can you show him Papa's pants? Can we see your ears? What's the ears? What's it? Let me see those pretty ears. Oh, look, I can't talk about your brother pants. That's my ears pants. This is Yoder, and this is Tango. And these are he's quarter dingo. His mama was half dingo, and he's a super loyal dog. As you can see, he's very, very loyal, and he's a good boy. Him's a good guy. I love him, guy. He's like the slow motion puppet. Does Mama want to come in? It's funny if you believe that that won't work at all. Who's masking your IP? Nobody's masking anybody's IP here. Oh, watch it. Are you out there, Mama girl? Oh, that was just you, Dano. That was just you, Dano. But Mama's out there. All right. Anyways. Oh, hey, much love. I appreciate it. Pray for God's will, Grace, please. I want whatever's supposed to happen to Elijah and myself. And, you know, I don't want to step in the way of the will of the Father. So please, Grace, pray for the will of the Father for all of us out here. You know what I'm saying? VPN will do this. Tracy Mass IP. Yeah, I don't do any of that. I'm not hiding from anything, guys. There's no hiding. Remember, I'm at the county. They want to come where the arrest warrant's at. I'm going to bring them here because we ain't running from nothing. I'm going to arrest them and bring them to this county because this is where I live. So you're not going to take them until you figure this stuff out. And you want to get it figured out, and then maybe we'll figure out who's going to lose their job. So, no glass breaking here. So, anyways, you'd sure be a part of this history, because I believe history could be happening with this case, you know. And I'm hoping it doesn't have to go that far. Yeah, I built this cabin. It's just all repurposed, guys. It's that's what I'm doing. I work with my hands, guys. I build out all this out here. There's cabins out here. You heard my real estate agent. He's, oh, I see your cabin out there on the internet. You know, guys, I'm trying to do a town of service by running these law enforcements out of town. I'm trying to run these law enforcement officers out of town, guys. People love it out here. We just made the largest dark sky sanctuary in the world. 2.5 million acres set apart out of the light belt, guys. This place is freaking amazing. You know, I think we've been so focused. I haven't even looked up at the stars recently in these last couple nights, guys. I apologize, Father. And I always look up, guys. I'm the one who's always talking about these celestial markers. So, off the grid, guys. I make all my own power. I'm a minimalist, guys. All these boards are from different places. I'm trying to be meek. I try to live, you know. Like, why do they call my real estate agent? That's all the things. That's all the things that they're going to spend their resources on, is calling my real estate agent and then telling them, well, you guys, I played it on the video. Remember? Well, it's not a meth house. Everybody knows in this town, don't you dare bring no meth around me, because they don't want. Tom, the sheriff, is the one who runs meth out here through the airport. to our little airport. Don't you know, Tom, the sheriff runs the meth out here, hangs out at the meth dealer. Are you investigating them, Tom? Are you hanging out with them, Tom? Are you using Tom? That's the guy with his face, the sheriff that I reported a murder to you, Tom, and you won't do anything about it. So, I don't know, guys. They need to stand down. They're getting themselves in a lot of heat here. I believe this will go federal soon enough. I can't believe the news hasn't picked this up. I've been out here in a stand-up, not a standoff, for what, tomorrow's day 10 here? Circling my house, stalking me, people calling both of these counties, whatever. I believe it's all by the glory of God, and only because that I am a pastor and I teach right through this property right here. There's millions of people who have heard this gospel that I teach predestination, and people come back. And so my apologies, and there people probably come back and go, man, is he talking about it again? Guys, I got it. Christ stood up to the law, brothers, sisters. They perverted it and they killed him for it. That's what they did to Christ Jesus. Yahushua HaMashiach, I am Shiloh, whatever name you want to give him. I know who he is, not other Jesus. More than one Jesus in the Bible. Huh? Yeah. Hey, check it out. So, anyways, brothers and sisters, we're supposed to go through suffering. That's part of the gospel. And it's all through your treasures in heaven. You can put it here on this earth, but you're not going to have both. So, he's the snare, remember, that lifts us out of here. You're going to get pulled up by your feet, and you're going to see when you get up there where your treasure's at. It's going to shake you. The heavens and the earth will be shaken, brothers and sisters. So I hope that these works are not my own, brothers and sisters. I do not want to serve myself. This needs to be a higher power. So if you want to become a part of something a little bit bigger here, it's probably very risky what I'm doing, but I'll do it. I just called the sheriff a meth dealer, basically. Guys, this is a dirty, this town is amazing. If we can run this law out of here and these people in these probation system, that we could have a beautiful town. 2.5 million acres set apart out of the light belt, protected from the light pollution. I'm building cabins out here to try and have an honest living, guys. By an honest living, let people come out and enjoy my hard work, but by my hands, but I had to step in and interrupt my life. Once again, I had to do it before, guys, when they were going to railroad my son. You guys, when I found out that this guy was lying, good to see you there, Eisman. So, I'm not afraid to expose, this rat, like I said. What would you do, guys, if you found out that some guy was lying about what he was doing? He was a grown-ass man, and he was hanging about a bunch of teenagers, would look really odd to begin with. Come to find out, he's a rapist, and was high on methamphetamines, and robbed a Hispanic woman who was married, and lies about it, what he did. Wouldn't you be a little, there's a lot of people that were onto this guy. You know what I'm saying? And this is so would you be okay if they put your son in jail, but they didn't put the rapist in jail, and then they didn't put the other 3 teenagers that were involved in jail, but your son was the only one? He didn't admit to any crime, never produced any evidence to, solid fingerprints, all that. They just railroaded him. Would you just stand by, or did you just shut up and let it happen? Well, I didn't. And that's when I caught on that this guy was paid to be in this county. So I got on to their ring and I called it out, and they don't like it because they're bullies out here. Most people shut the fuck up. Apologize, Father. I don't normally cuss, but I've had thousands of hours live streaming. I don't, and I apologize. I've just been put under a lot of pressure these last 10 days. They have an arrest warrant for my son. They want to take him and throw him in prison. And I'm not going to allow them to kidnap him again. I don't care who they are. The warrant they have is invalid. Maybe that's why they haven't come on this property. So I already arrested him. Remember, I said, you will put that warrant out for his arrest. I already told you did the hours back here. You made him do double the hours. It's invalid. That's double jeopardy. Just because you're not wanting to do your work, you want me to go get my son, let him get violated? His rear end by some man who can't keep his, genitals to himself because my son's fresh meat now in prison? No way. Not if I knew he had the hours. So I called my attorney finally today, guys. And I didn't want to. This is Silver Lake in Christmas Valley, Oregon, guys. And I'm not afraid to say, I love this town, guys. There's a lot of people who are afraid. You heard the real estate agent say, or the property owner, he's not real estate. I mean, he deals with land. Like I bought land, 20 acres from him. And he didn't have anything negative to say to me, guys. You've heard that. But he said people were afraid of these people. How am I going to sit around, guys, as a United States Army veteran, supposed to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and allow this to happen in the town where I bought property? You don't do your duty in your backyard, guys. So I don't care if they're law enforcement officers. They got guns. I'm not afraid of that, guys. I'm not intimidated by men in clown suits who act like they, they're thugs, they're gang members, thin blue line, all wearing the same color. When I was a police officer, that was the definition of a gang. Yeah, a heavily armed group of thugs, all wearing the same color, thin blue line, all going around harassing, extorting the general public. What does that sound like to you? Well, during the COVID, they just stayed home and collect their paychecks, didn't they? Didn't they? Yes, they did. And then release the dogs. There they went again, back to their tyranny. History's going to show that. It's crazy how much they stood down. So that's why I call them out on that stuff too, guys. I try to get the law enforcement out here, Michael Taylor, to stand, not the first time they flattened the curve, but the second. So I held a protest across from his police department, guys, in front of the business nobody stood up during the COVID, guys. I did. To Michael Taylor, to Tom, to these sheriffs, and said, you're failures, guys. Remember during the Bundy standoff, the elected sheriff came in and ran the federal government. Let's do the same thing here. Let's put ourselves in history on the map. That we're that little town that, guys, you gotta, it's not what happens while you're here. It's what they say after you leave. This ain't about being famous, guys. Okay. I try to gain any kind of popularity contest. He said, you be loved by the world, you be hated by my Father. So I ain't trying to be famous, I'm trying to be infamous. That's right. I care more. I don't care anything what they say about. I care what I've left behind, to know that I served the Father, and then I served his people. I didn't let people get down and stepped on by principalities, power, spiritual wickedness, and the rulers of the darkness of this world. You understand? He was killed and they put holes in his body because he stood up to their law. It was his law. They perverted it, but they killed him for going not. But that's what they did to Christ. He said, follow after me. Luke, who shall ever be my disciple? Take up your cross. Matthew, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. Take up your cross daily. Follow after me. Comes with suffering. This sucks. I want my son to have his life back. But I have to stand for others. Not worry about my flesh. I'm not under that testament. He paid for that in blood and flesh. I'm under a spiritual wrestle, not against flesh. Ephesians 6:11. We're not under that testament, but against principalities. Remember, I told you this is spiritual, brothers and sisters. Powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world. I said it's spiritual, brothers and sisters, spiritual wickedness, and the rulers of the darkness of this world. We're not under that testament, right? The law of the flesh, we still are that commandments and New Testament commandments, but not the law of the flesh. It was fulfilled. He said, do not worry about no man who can take your flesh. Only worry who can take your soul. These men are just like me. I'm an Army veteran. They put their pant legs on one leg at a time. Women, man, God created one race, the human race, man and women. These men don't act like humans. They act like jackboot thugs. They don't even know the laws they're enforcing. And they'll be judged by the law that they go by. I'm sure that the Father will pour out a just measure no matter what happens to me and what happens to my son. I remind him, God, let God use you, son. If they just throw us both and they railroad us both, and we're both not even together, we're separate, and he let him use you, son. Remember that man that was on that witness, that second, the thief on the cross, son? Remember? He called out, he said, you'll be with my Father. Let him use you, son. Maybe there's a word that somebody's being patient with the whole world right now. This place is already wicked, filled with wickedness. The most evilest and adulterous generation I've ever witnessed. They used to at least throw their children in the fire and eat them, put them out of their misery. Now we just sold out all the future generations. They have no life. It's spent already, so we could stimulate check and, you know, COVID-19 and all this other crap. Yeah, number one, Pfizer, it all went to Donald Trump and his buddies. Don't fool yourself. That's where it went, the Koch brothers, and the number one selling drug dealer on the planet is Donald Trump. That's why they're pissed off at me too, guys, because I ain't standing down about the greatest jab. $2.2 trillion. If I paid you $1 million a day, it'd take you 360,000 years to pay you off. I think you could stack dollar bills end on end. We go back to the moon back 4 times. These people are absolute tyrants. I don't care about their color, red or blue. Red and blue, they're both blood related to the Queen. Every one of them has ever been, even George Washington, 33-degree Mason. So please, guys, this is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to stand up against the law peacefully, meek, not weak. Right? Wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. There's probably some things I shouldn't have said, but I'm not willing to stand down, brothers and sisters. Meaning I'm risking my own life here. But I don't worry about this flesh. Whatever. I'm concerned that when I left here, that I didn't serve myself. I didn't serve myself. Yeah, I had to take care of my body. It was a temple. Latria, pornea, ido. That's the word idolatry, that I wasn't an idolater and I didn't cheat on him, on his law. I'm more concerned what happens after I die, but I have to look after my son. He's been wrongfully arrested. And wrongfully, that's kidnapping. And I will not let them kidnap him again. I do not care what their warrant says. I told him before it was ever issued, don't you dare issue a warrant for his arrest. You look and make sure he had all these hours. If he did 1 hour a week or one 8-hour day, they have to work 8 hours a day out here. They get on a bus, they work all day. And ain't this stuff that they got over there in Lane County. You know, we got Lame or Lake, L-A-K-E and L-A-N-E, but let's call it Lame County. The police commissioner calls my son's wife after she works a full-time job. Full-time job, guys. Full-time job. She goes and donates her time for a nonprofit organization in Lane County. And she's not even a resident of that county. She's a resident of Lynn County. What? And they have the freaking audacity to call her a slut. The chief of police. The chief of police calls her a slut, guys. That's defamation of character, guys, from the chief of police over there. How these two police departments, if their conduct is unbelievable. You guys have been a witness. I have asked hundreds of people now, I believe, have called both of these agencies. Like I said, guys, we need to do a check on Sarah. We haven't heard from Sarah. A thief was never next to Jesus when he was crucified. Why? Question mark, Marcus, whatever. 2 thieves, buddy. Okay? I think you've been here before, Marcus, haven't you, on this? Right? No? Yeah? So, yeah, I don't understand here, guys, how any of these people can do their job. How many hundreds of calls have I made and not even one call back? What about Sheriff Michael Taylor, the elected sheriff? You know, Somebody called in and said, oh, is this his slutty wife? Cussing people out over there in Lane County? Cool, cool. So I don't know anymore, guys, now, other than, like I said, I think we were pretty close to putting this to hopefully to rest here. And then heads are going to roll, man. Seriously. And I'm not talking about violence. Not at all. Once we prove Elijah has done double the hours, because he said, the attorney said he had 55 hours, guys. That comes from the attorney. He called the Sherman Center. He got a hold of the sheriff. He got, that's the attorney over there in that county. Where I called before, you guys are, I can't go on. It's so much. It's so much. But I'm going to work on the 55. 55. 55 hours. Elijah turned in 55 hours that he didn't get credit for. So what are these people going to do? When I prove that he's done those, and then we get to recount for all the ones. See, he originally was on felony probation for a property crime, going through Color Guard, through Lily Frank, who I called today twice. He will not call me. I called yesterday, woke up, these people won't call me back. Called her when Elijah this first started, when Crusher was threatening to throw him in jail. So when we get these, we know that Elijah at least worked 1 day a week because she was making him, that's part of it, sometimes do double, get more hours. She wanted him out of this county, guys. They've forgotten that I was poor. They've forgotten so much in this county. I've called Lake County, can show that I have, if I could produce that phone record, which is not going to go away. It's digital. None of this can be hidden anymore. You put in something in your search, it's in there. It's all, if they summons this by federal, this might go, this is going to go, this can get real big for these guys, and they don't want to stand down. So that's why I'm standing up. I won't let them enter this property. I have it barricaded with tractor tires, and I'm sure that if they could, they can bush right through this, but I'm not, I am blocked, showing them you're not welcome. There's signs that said, don't trespass on this property. So they can't enter here with that illegal warrant. I'm not going to hear it. I mean, if they do, whatever, we'll see. It's not legal to me. And if it was, why haven't they come in here, and they've had it issued for how long? So not going to sit there and let my son get thrown in a prison for 5 years when I know now he's done twice. So that means all the hours they're going to get sued for. Because I already told him he'd already done that. They didn't make him do this until the last 3 months. They just sprung it on him. And I visited his probation officer, not personally, but we called my attorney, the same one that I hired now, to go through his restitution. He had ordered, it was $47,000. And to say, why does it look like Elijah's paying all this? Well, he's the only one going to jail. I thought they were going to stick it all on him. If I could have paid the 47 divided by 5, 47 divided by 5, whatever that is, again, I can do my hand, I'm sorry. That's not anything I could have paid off, guys. I didn't have the money at the time to pay it off. If I could, I wouldn't even be on this live stream talking about that now. How insane is that? How insane that is at Elijah's 18 months, because he'd done everything he was supposed to do, that Ryan Solberg said the only thing he needed to take care of was the restitution, and he could get off of probation. That's why I called my attorney. How are they running from this, guys? See, right there, he would have said it on his action plan. They don't want to listen to none of this, guys. They don't want to listen to none of this. That's why Crusher Brunsman hopefully is going to lose her job over this. Hopefully she's going to lose her job over this, because how could you be the head of probation when your job is to get people to not reoffend, lower the risk to reoffend, and then help them to get off the system, help them get them off probation. Nope, 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 not helping him. Making him feel like he's a dog. Bark, sit, do more work, do twice as much work, be the only one to go to jail, do double time, pay every time. Why when Elijah transferred from Lake County to Lane County, didn't he have to register for community service and pay the $100 that he had to pay when they extended his probation, or for the 3 months that he had to get on? This is such bullshit. This is such out of control. Out of control. Law enforcement. Again, the real estate agent, property owner, 20 plus probably years out here, and said that the people are afraid of these people out here, guys. How can I just sit there and live in a town where they're afraid of the law enforcement and just stand around and not do anything about it? Well, I'm not, guys. This is risky. So that's why I had to get Elijah an attorney, the same attorney he had last time. So it's going to get expensive, guys, but I'm going to have to do it. So I'm going to sell the land next to me. It's decided. I'm selling it for less than $2,000 an acre, and it has to be done to fund the money to get Elijah, myself, the attorney, to make sure there's not an issue with money. I want a retainer to make sure that both of us don't have any issues. And if we do, that if, we have to, whatever, I don't trust this county. I don't trust the system. So I don't want to think about money right now, guys. Damn it. So anyways, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to, it's all right. I'm going to figure it out. God is going to provide. He'll provide a way. That's what the land, I think that's what it was there for. So I don't care about neighbors anymore like that. So whatever, I'm over it. This is way more important. My son going to prison for 5 years is not going to, whatever, I'll buy more land. So I have more land. I have this 20 acres still. So where is Sarah, guys? Anybody seen Sarah? Anybody know where that lady's at? That lady was pushing really hard. That was called, they threatened her life, guys. Remember Sarah? We need to bring this up too. Lane County threatened Sarah. Remember? They threatened Sarah. Has anybody seen Sarah? Anybody in any other live stream? Sarah with the purple tag on her name. I think it was maybe just an S. She's Sarah from Texas. She called in. That was the one that the police commissioner said that Elijah's wife was a slut. And that upset her. And so she just kept calling the non-mercy line and said she was going to keep bugging them, guys. She just disappeared. Where's she at, guys? Has anybody seen Sarah? Maybe she got busy. Things happen. I'm just a little concerned when the county threatens her like that. She said that they did, guys. So I'm a little concerned. I mean, we need to kind of make record of this too, guys. I don't know what this county's capable of. I don't think it'd be this county that did it. It was Lane County that was threatening her. So she said she'd be here if they sent Elijah to trial, one of us, and then she just disappeared, guys. So I think it's been about 2 or 3 days. I haven't seen Sarah in here, so I want to make a mention, of Sarah. She's Sister Sarah there, and put in a lot of hours, during this last few times. I mean, getting on and calling, and she called Sam Birch's phone here too, guys, and wouldn't let up on that. Which it's his duty phone, so she has the right. And no, I don't think she was harassing anybody, guys. Again, she wasn't being like that. She was just trying to she got through. She said, the one lady, remember, she said, "Oh, I finally got through." Guys, my eyes are burning like crazy all of a sudden. It's like, it's not smoky at the door in here. Open because the breeze. I don't know. Some of my eyes are burning all of a sudden, like like somebody just cut onions in here or something. Weird. But anyways, got the door open. Maybe it's something outside. Let me go outside real quick. Oh, you know what it might be, guys? I have the door open and the stove is open. It might be that smoke coming back through, but I don't see it in here. I don't smell it either. What's going on here? Strange. Well, how about Tracy? You got 30 minutes sleep, 38 minutes sleep this day, and then you got like 2 hours the next day. I don't know. I'm going on like, a couple hours sleep this day, a couple hours. It's like tonight, It's gonna sit here and wait for him in the middle of the night to come, because I don't trust him. The night is not, and I'm not trying to stop, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't trust them. I just don't trust these people. The people out here are afraid of these people, so they'll do whatever they want. So I don't know. I know we're real close though. Again, guys, I don't want to. Hopefully, Elijah turn in the hours, or requested Dan Bud tell him when the hours were turned in, and if they were turned in, because the way Dan Bud said it is that he was already expired to the sheriff's office, and so maybe they didn't even give him credit for those hours, and that's why he's short those 55 hours that he worked with his slutty wife. How cruel is that, guys? A man who doesn't even know. I mean, she worked over there with him and stuff for all those hours. Remember I was saying 58 or something? It was 55. But she had record of it already. She was there, signed up with him, doing it with him. So, I don't know. A little concerned about Sarah. She's just disappeared, so it seemed weird. This isn't a petty crime, so. Yeah, no, this is a warrant for a 5-year prison sentence, Christine. So I'm sure I don't know if you've been listening here, but no, this is a lot bigger than that. I don't see how the feds hadn't gotten involved yet, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure they're watching. So I'm being on it too, guys. There's really no justice in this country for most people working for them anymore. And it's definitely failed my son. So what does it matter, Daniel? Doesn't matter with anything. So does it make any difference in this case? I already said it's a property crime. So not a person on person, not anything like that. Why my son went to jail for 11 months and a rapist sat out there, I don't know. It's because this county's corrupt. And there's a man who came into town years ago who said, I'm not going to stand for this, and I happen to be that guy. So they're going to kill me. I'm never going to leave. I'm never going to move from this town. I'm never going to leave. I'm not going to let them move. I'm going to kick the law out of this town, or they're going to kill me. Pick your choice. They're watch these streams. They go over there. Remember on this stream? Remember the cops? Remember that all up to the house, and then they pull across the street. And I know you're watching, Sam, because you called me because you said you're watching, and now you're here across my street. Are you watching? Turning the lights off and on. Right across the street, the sheriff, they got the computers, so what tyranny, You should go watch you guys want to watch a good video, go watch a video that's called something warrant, invalid warrant. It's about 2 minutes. It was just a little clip. It didn't pick the whole thing out, which you're not going to get the whole thing, but you'll get a little just about what it is that I'm willing to do for my son. Go watch that. You want to see how I'm not going to let these people take my son? No way, not a chance in hell. I don't care what they say. They've got to get this straightened out. So this is way, way, way bigger. I've got a deputy out here that I think he murdered two of his, or one of his partners, and he runs methamphetamines through the airport. And most people know he hangs out at the guy in town, the largest meth dealer's house. What are you doing? Hanging out with him? Investigating him with him? Delivering? Or are you using, Tom? I brought this up, guys. People in this town know. I've never had the elected sheriff ever call me. I've tried. He's the one I stood up during the COVID, guys. See, this is all huge. This is such a much bigger thing. This is much bigger than Elijah John Warner being double jeopardy. So once I prove Elijah's done all his hours, I'm going to go back and prove that he did all the 180 hours. And I'm going to probably make sure my son has at least $3 to $5 million, so he doesn't have to sit there and suffer. $1 million, 100, 800, and I'm not trying. That ain't rich in this world. I just don't want him to suffer anymore. He needs to be able to have some of the things. He just had his life stripped away from him he'd been on probation for I don't know how many years, 5 years, 6, 8, long time. They keep extending this out, doing this. This is ridiculous. He keeps appeasing their hours, and they just never have enough because they keep changing them. There's nothing in the system that's digital. It's all a bunch. Well, keep track of it yourself and write this down there and write that. Enough. So I hope before I die that I'm the guy that stood in and said, how in the hell has this gone this long? Oh, he's a whistleblower. You call me whatever you want, but how does it not every probationee, parolee, is not digitally tracked and traced like a blockchain? Not their movements when they work somewhere, where they were going, what it says on their action plan, that should all be. It's not. It's all handwritten. It's insanity. And I agree. We should have a backup plan in case the son punches thing. But for now, why we still have this grid? What the hell is the probation system not doing digital? Why are they not up to snuff yet? Because they're criminals. This is how they extort people. No, you didn't do these hours. Yes, you did. Track your own. Round up, round down. You guys, like an example, I think with the issue with my son, they said something that she's not writing down the proper hours. Sometimes they stay there and they don't leave the property, and they'll eat their lunch there. Or sometimes they'll go for half an hour. But they'll write down that they were there. It's all of their time cards are going to show the same thing too, like round up or round down, No, Christine, you don't know anything about this case. I apologize, Christine. I don't mean to silence you, but please don't talk about Elijah's case, okay? And he's not going to prison. He's not. You understand? My son is not going to prison. He didn't do anything to deserve to go to prison. I will not allow anybody even say that. So please don't ever say that again. Go watch the video and don't think that I won't stand in front of a man with a loaded gun. He couldn't even get out of his car. He was so mesmerized. Thank you, Father. So, all right. Christina, I can't do it right now, man. Thank you for coming in, but you got to go. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. I want to call this tonight. Lake County, you better call me in the morning because my attorney is already called Sherman Center and been in touch with Lane County Sheriff's Office. Now, you watch these streams, you guys. You say that you watch these streams. Now, if you're watching the stream, I'm expecting a call in the morning by 9 a.m. This is my demand. Elijah gets his paperwork. Crescia Brunsman. And I'll let the journalists deal with you out here. I'm not moving, so you're going to probably have to stand up and turn yourself in, sheriffs, and say, hey, you probably should just go home. Like I told Sam. Sam, why are you still on duty, Sam? I said, go home already. Didn't I tell you? Why are you still working? So I'm not gonna do anything violent. Never threaten violence, but I will stand and take a bullet for my son. Absolutely. 110%. I'll do it as many times as it takes. I've already stood in front of this county once with this same attorney. So are you hearing me? They already contacted Lane County, the Sherman Center. You want John to contact you again? Remember, he was the attorney there, Lake County, that you dealt with, that got Elijah out from underneath your system out here. So if you want him to call you and you want me to continue this, I'll go after every one of your jobs, especially you, Michael Taylor. You've never called me once. I don't think there'll be any phone record of me actually calling your department maybe 50, 60 times about the corruption in your county, and you're the elected sheriff. It sounds like we need a new sheriff in town. Tracy, you should run for sheriff. Well, I don't know, man. I don't really like law, but maybe that is the position for me. I clear all these people out of here. I'd do a lot of clearing out if I was the elected sheriff. You're darn right. I'd get rid of every one of them. I don't think there's anyone, and we'd stop enforcing capital letter law. Well, then you wouldn't work, Tracy. I don't know. Let's see. Yep, no more enforcing that capital letter law. No more pulling people over for their Fourth Amendment right. People have the right to travel unless they're engaged in commerce. That means in a commercial vehicle, leave them alone. Unless they've broken a law, like crashed in somebody, a property. Stop extorting these people. So start using our constitutional law. Let's go back to not the straw man law. See, why is it law enforcementers don't know the law? How is it that an elected sheriff doesn't know about Black's law, the straw man, this capital letter law on your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security? These are the law of the land, the elected sheriffs. So I don't know. Maybe I don't even think about that. I'm a prior law enforcement officer, guys. I'm a prior military police officer, so it's not like I just never ever thought I'd ever serve that. But if I could clear a house, people used to come to the sheriff and the sheriff would help, guys. Little boys wanted to be a sheriff. Now they're just a bunch of tyrants, including this one down here. I've asked for him to investigate his own, murders and stuff out here, and not one call. Apparently he can get him and his district attorney and his judges down here to sign off on Elijah's warrant, sign off on the lady who $4,500 she found and gave it back to him the next day in the same denominations. It put in a separate bank account, and they arrested her 6 months later. That judge signed off on that warrant. I wonder if it's the one that signed off on Elijah's warrant. See, so I don't recognize their invalid warrant. I don't recognize their invalid warrant, guys. That's why I called the county and said, if you try to kidnap my son again, I will arrest him. I will arrest him. Citizen's arrest his body, arrest his, whatever it takes. I'm not giving you to him to throw him in a rape cage for 5 years when I have the evidence and you don't want to look at it. Well, you got to let the process go through, Trace. You got to get in front of a judge. Hell no. They ain't getting hold of my son. I don't think so. I'd do it for your son too. I would, if he was innocent, right? And was being, innocent. He'd done his crime, did his time, not innocent. I mean, whatever. He's a victim, meaning. So what? I don't care what your son did. Daughter did. If they made a mistake and they paid for the crime and they did the time, then they were deemed double tried. I'd stand up, and that's why I'm doing it now. I'm standing up for your kids, these future generations. I thought we were supposed to want a better place for our children. That's all I'm trying to do here for the future generations that have to live in this town. The continued ones that are living here now. that are afraid of these people, guys. You heard the sheriff's office, the code enforcement, you heard the real estate owner, the company who's been dealing with these people for 15 plus years. I've never had a personal experience with them, but I've heard a lot of people are afraid of it. So that was organic, guys. That was organic. So, thank you, Father, for keeping this young man safe and keeping me safe. I don't believe that by any other way. You want to see God? You don't believe in God? Let me show you God. Go watch that 2-minute video. Go watch that 2-minute video, guys, of the sheriff coming down the driveway with his lights on. Do not pull over, Elijah. Go home. No, I'm not going to do not speed. You're not going to see it's the 33-minute video. It's the live, we went live. It's just predestined for live, but I had to go live. They're trying to steal my son from me, again, kidnap him. I'm not going to allow that. So, look at how Sam acted. I don't think he cares about anything. I think he's just a drone or something, maybe they've replaced him with an android or I don't believe in none of that, guys. I'm just kidding. But he just doesn't do anything. So maybe it was what I was telling him. Maybe God, it was God. It was God, brothers and sisters. It was God. That wasn't me. And you see, after that incident, I'm giving all glory to God and thanking God and edifying God, the Most High, and thanking Christ Jesus and thanking him for keeping me safe and allowing me to get back home and get my son back into the sanctuary, back here to High Desert Grace and Truth Ministries, where he can have this sanctuary and protection from the law that is trying to persecute him for a crime that he committed, did his crime, did his time, and then his community service, and they didn't want to recognize it again and made him do it again. So, if you know somebody who doesn't believe in God, go show them that video, guys. Go show them that video. I think they might, you don't have to change anybody. Belief is not even a thought in your head, just so you know. Well, faith is a noun, but belief is a verb. So it's not a thought or what you think. It's an action word. So, anyways, I need to rest a little bit, guys. I'm getting a little worn down. It's 10 days here on our stand-up here. We're standing up to the law. We're peacefully standing up. I'll protect this property. I have guns. I'm not afraid to say that. I have my Second Amendment right. I don't have any charges. I don't have a record. So I have the right to arm myself and my property, protect it if somebody comes here and tries to cause any. The state police drove on my property the other day, guys. And I didn't fire at them. I wasn't even armed at the time. Quit driving on my property, state police. Why the fuck didn't you stop and ask to see if Adriana was all right? You guys are ruthless savages too, state police. You've shown your face out here too. You drove by my house and you didn't even stop and ask if Adriana was okay. You didn't even ask. I suppose they got her held out up in the desert too, right? The sheriff calls me, hey, you guys got these people held up. You Tracy's got you held up there. But you didn't even ask about her. The state police in Oregon failed. They went by, drove right by on my property, which I could have shot at them because they're not supposed to be on my property without a warrant. I already had warned them, do not enter my property. I've already warned all these agencies. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're the Department of Defense, you're the National Security, NSA, right? Bunch of assholes. The Federal Bureau of Idiots, the low man on the totem, bunch of corporations. You don't have any authority. And if you do, you better come with a warrant, and it better be valid. Not this bullshit warrant you've issued for my son's arrest. Stand down, Lake County. Stand down, Lane County. I'm coming after your job, Crusher Brunsman. If I have my way, you'll lose your job. Not by vengeance. You say you're supposed to be a public servant, a community servant. To serve the community, you're supposed to serve the community. How many hundreds of calls have I made with not one call returned? Not one call. Not one call back, guys. From none of these people. Not the sheriff's office. I got hundreds of people calling. I got lives being threatened. Tracy, would you stop with your live stream, man? It's getting overwhelming. These non-emergency lines are being kind of flooded. Yeah, they're non-emergency lines. The people have the right to call and ask questions. Being called names, cussed at, called the police chief, called my son's wife a slut. So we'll be back at it again. I'm going to get a little rest. I might even come back on for the end of the night. I need to pray right now. I need to talk to him. And so I need to end this. And I just need to talk to him. It's a tough day out here, guys. You know, it's just hard. You know, it's trying to keep the energy up and trying to keep the positive out here and trying to still live a normal life out here and not let them take away. But we can't move anywhere. Restriction. Tried to leave the other day and look what ended up happening to that, just to get, you know, the lady a shower. You know, Elisha did clean out the first building we built out here was the shower room. A lot of people think it's an outhouse. It's a shower room, big open shower, big 10 feet down, all gravel filled. It's a neat building. And that she liked, it was not a running water though. He washed her back and they got to, you know, take a shower. She hasn't showered in a week. I saw her do her hair yesterday, or I think it was today. It was so nice to see her be able to braid her hair and stuff, guys. I can't imagine for a lady, you know. I feel like a terrible host, you know, that I haven't. And I want to get out there and, you know, I told them the day that Elijah, if they'll just say, okay, Elijah, we're going to dig this. We're going to dig this thing and get this lady some running water out here. I have a pump. I have pipes. I just live by myself. So, you know what I mean? I want them to have a normal life, guys. That's why I'm fighting so hard, so that they can have a normal life and others just like them that have been victimized by the system don't have to. And if it costs me my life, I don't care. I don't care if they bring up a bunch of charges on me and put me in prison, as long as my son never serves another day for these things. Now, if he gets in more trouble, that's his own deal. But as of right now, I want this county to stand down, because I'm not going to stand down. If it costs me my life, I will go. I will die trying, and I will die trying to serve the future people that have been victimized by the system. I don't care what their crime was. I don't care what their crime was. That's not what it's about. It's about the fact that they need a way out. They need people there to help them, not talk down to them. These people in probation talk to people like a slave. A slave. It doesn't matter. Bill Roberts, what does that have to do? Or what is that, Bill Roberts? Why? What does it matter? What does it matter what my son did? Are you listening? He already did his time times 2. Why? What does it matter? He murdered 1 million people. You know, I don't what. He didn't, it wasn't even a victim. It was a victimless, you know, there's no person-on-person crime. So what is your concern? Are you going to come in here and give me some of this prison justice here or something? I don't know why people always ask that, guys. Why don't you focus on what the hell I'm talking about? He already did his crime. So it's no worries. I've been locked up in my house here with my son for 10 days, and they won't let him go. So I'm not trying to be salty with you, man. My apologies. My heart was broken a little bit today when I talked to my son again, because we have our confidence real high. We're going to run him out of here. We're not going to let him go. We're going to stay here. We're going to build you a house. We're going to, and today my son told me that, he'd probably leave if we got this done. And it broke my heart, guys, and we can go wherever he wants. He can go. It was just like, man, I don't want them to let us run us all out of here. And I let it get the best of me, guys. It broke my heart. And I overreacted to that situation. And I don't know, maybe it's lack of sleep, or no, my heart was broken. I don't want my son to give up. I don't want my son to be afraid of this. I want my son to have a life. I want to be with him. I don't want to go to prison. I want to share I've lived out here alone for a long time. He's the only person I have in my life. I don't have anybody else. I mean, I have acquaintances. I can go to town and people know me and stuff, but I don't have people in my life on a regular basis, any kind of friends from high school and stuff. So, I don't know, guys. When your kids turn 18, do you stop being a father? Do you stop being their dad? Even if they get in trouble and they make a mistake, do you turn your back on them? And if they do everything they're supposed to do, and they go by all the rules and they jump through all the hoops, and then they have to jump through twice as much hoops for everybody, wouldn't you stand up and say, hey, why is it? And I know he's probably not the only one, but in this case, he's the only one jumping through twice as many hoops. And that's actually illegal. If they say these are the many hoops you're supposed to jump through and you jump through them, they can't make you jump through more hoops. And they did that, guys. You know what I'm saying? At the end of his thing, right when he was about to get off of the probation, after doing everything he was told, we couldn't pay for him to get off halfway. I visited the attorney. They never said anything. His probation officers never said anything about the probation because it was already taken care of by his dad, which helped him back here. Why in the hell? Why do these people think I'm so on this? Because I've been involved in his life since he made a mistake. And I've tried to help him get through this. But the system is absolutely savages. With their analog system, they screw people over left and right. And they don't care. How do these people do their jobs? I've left hundreds probably of phone recordings, guys, and never one call back. Not one call today. My list was like this. Not one call. Some of these people have been calling for years. These are people who are working in communities, sir. I think of robots to do a better job. And I see, Tracy, you're one of them. You're one of them Masons. You're one of them, Tracy. You're one of them. You keep saying you want to go digital, and now you're talking about robots. Well, guys, let's get printouts and hand them paper copies. I'm not saying that we can't do things. We better be ready for the sun to knock our grid down. They don't pay anything to protect that. But anyways, we should use this thing. It's called the internet, guys. Did you hear there's this thing called the internet? There's this thing, it's like called blockchain. You know, it's all tied to it so you can digitally track and trace everything. Really? Wow. What's that all about? Well, you can put in all the information and you can get back an algorithm to give you a mathematical, well, it's an allegory. It's a sequence of, it takes all the information and it produces a log, well, not a logarithmic, well, actually, yes, an algorithmic answer, if you will, by all the information that's input into the system. Instantly, we can tell anything within the, why isn't this being done? Why is everything analog, written in, oh, well, he'll write your hours down, and at the end of the day, he'll turn them in. You write down, they tell them, you keep track of your own hours. Oh, well, we have a problem with Elijah's hours because it says 7:30 here, and he was actually here until 7:15. They all round up or down, guys, too. That would go away. You checked out at 5:07. 5:07 is the time. No, they can know he wasn't here. He's cheating. You know, actually, they said on my son's last 55 hours, I made him leave 3 hours early, guys. I was talking to him, and he was pissed because he knew about his hours. Like, I already had him going to Dan Budd, saying, get your hours, Elijah. Get your hours, Elijah. Get your hours. Get a printout. I don't want to hear your shit, Elijah. Get a freaking printout. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Dad, I'm trying. They won't. I've emailed. I've asked. I've requested. They won't give me nothing. How in the hell can people not get an instant printout, guys? See what I'm saying? This is incredible. It's incredible. And my son has been made to do double time. So I will make sure for every hour that he was made to work that we are going to sue the county. It's not right. He lost the hours that he had to go do that job, the time he had to drive there. And you know what's crazy again? Adriana lost her job now. She lost her job, guys. She lost her job because of this now. So you want to help Adrian and pay her rent. And I'm like that. She's being kind of held captive here by me because I don't want her leaving. I don't want her son getting locked up, or my son or her husband, and not be with her. I would like her to spend her last days with him if he's going to get locked and railroaded by till we could get it figured out. So that sucks, man. She had a good job. I think she's been there for years over this situation, which could have been clear. So I think she has a pretty good lawsuit against this. So they paid something like $1,300 for that nice little place. I don't like it. It's too close to their neighbors or whatever, but it's in town, but it's clean. It's nice. It's not dirty. It's nice. I've been there. It's 2-story, and it's not, they have good neighbors. I guess they get along, and they've been a good contributing to society, but now she's lost her job over this crap, guys. So please do, Lady in Red. But let's leave it with anybody can leave a donation if you have the chance to do it financially. It's not required. I always try to say that. I don't want to take from anybody and get on the other side and go, God, why you took from that person, Tracy? They didn't even have a dime, and they felt bad for you. I don't want this to be an emotional thing. If you have the ability to help or know somebody, please, let's get them involved. I mean, I think, man, I love for a millionaire to come in here and say, you know what, Tracy, I got this. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this county. I'm not even from here. I can spend $1 million. Let's do this. This is just a matter of money, Tracy. I see. That's what it's always. I could have Elijah off of probation, guys. Off of probation. At 18 months. At 18 months, I had him completely in line with probation, had contacted the attorney. I need to know, here's $47,000. He's the only one to go to jail. Are they sticking him with all $47,000? John, come on, help me. What's going on here? I can't pay $47,000, man. Can you figure out this number? If this is divided, we'll take that and be divided by 5. And I still couldn't pay it off, guys. I just didn't have the cash. At the time, I didn't have the resources or the assets. I didn't have that land paid or had that land yet. I would have paid then. Think about that, guys. If I had that land, then I could have paid it off. Elijah be off probation. We wouldn't be here. But yet they stuck him and told him at the end of his thing that he had 133 hours still, and never mentioned to him the whole time for 3 years. What a bunch of bullshit, railroaded. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to overdo it, but my son deserves some kind of settlement here. They stole his life for a couple of years now. He's just been a victim of the system. So if you know anybody who can help legally, he does have an attorney at this point. I've contacted my attorney, but anybody maybe wants to help out here with legal aids. And I'm probably going to end up in prison too, guys, just so you know, but I don't care about me. Don't worry about me. I got to preach the gospel. I got to reach millions of people. I didn't, he did. And I got to pastor predestination. So whether I pastor it here on the outside or I pastor it here, I go pastor it behind with men that are wrongfully convicted and people that are in a bad spot, I'll do it wherever God puts me, whether it's behind these 4 walls and, here or at this property in these 20 acres that I minister here and pastor the gospel. That's okay, but I'll do it anywhere he tells me. I'll never stop preaching the gospel until I die. Never, never, never. I told you I want my last words come out of my mouth to be his, not my own. I want to die saying his words. I want him to push whatever it is that's in me out and it to be his, not mine. I don't want my last words to be my own. Right? So I love you guys. Okay. Your support of this ministry in these last weeks has shown. I believe, again, I've seen my son was a little broken today. And again, I think that was because I wore on him real hard, making him go through all the other things, guys. Kind of reliving all those hours. He went through his phone, guys, and he saw things that he hasn't seen in years. So I think that really hurt my son a lot because, boy, I felt a little broken yesterday and this morning. He just wasn't himself. And then I got a little, like I said, a little emotional when he said that, I walked up out of and left because I was like, can't hear that. You don't want to try, hear your dad's tried so hard for you. So I love him. I love him a lot. He's a good young man. And if he wasn't, I told him I wouldn't stand with you, Elijah. If you weren't a man of God, I'd go do something somewhere else. My time is I let God blow me, man. You ain't that important, buddy. You're my son and I love you, but I already told you, you got your own way to the Father. I will not be there holding your hand, bud. I'm your dad, but your Father's in heaven. He's going to judge you. You're on your own, kid. I told him that when he's like this big, you know, so he's always known that. But see what I'm saying, guys? You know, he just was, it's kind of broken this morning, and I don't want that. So don't want to have another day like this tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. It's Memorial Day week, and everybody's going to be, and we don't do holidays, but everybody's going to be buzzing, you know. And there's going to be a lot of cars driving up and down this highway. Is it them or they come? You guys, this is enough, man. Every day you don't know whether you're going to go to prison or not. And something you've already done double the time, guys. If you can, no, you're not guaranteed to lose and do the time if you get an attorney. Sorry, is what it is. No, that's not true. If you take a public defender, so I do deserve to go to prison. Why do I deserve to go to prison, Skull Gamer? You're a gamer, so what do you play all day with yourself, or do you play with toys or blocks, or are you one of those World of Warcraft, or are you yeah, I understand that, but they can broker deals. I totally get you there, Oli, but that's that's blasphemous what you just said. The statistics don't show that. Public defenders, yes, but you're so far from the truth on actually people, you know, getting an attorney. That's not true. So don't lie like that, please. Don't be a demon and spit unclean truths in here. I'll cast out your unclean truths real quick. Statistics prove you're wrong. So public pretenders now, they're not so hot. But if you can secure an attorney that probably doesn't work in that area, your chances of success not being locked up, you're 100% backwards. You're forwarded is what that's the Hebrew word for pervert or to twist. Okay, so please don't twist the statistics. That's what they're doing with me now. Well, capital letter law. You straw man. I know what you're talking about. I'm a prior police officer, a prior veteran myself, and I understand what law that they're so. So, but anyways, brothers, sisters, if you can stand with this ministry and want to donate to Adriana, that's fine. It's not required. I'm going to end the stream with that. I try not to talk about it, is saying about that. But I want to at least drop the links there. So regular army, military police. So not happy with my tour of service. We're tyrants, America, and I think that what you know was coming is you reap what you sow in America. So I don't believe in karma. Yeah, that's what I just said, right, Oli? Nuh-uh. Wait a minute. Because that's not Roly Jolie Oli from YouTube, is it? Hold on one second. I got to see this. You're not the Jolie Oli channel, are you? No, that's not Jolie Oli. If that's Jolie Oli in here, no. What would Jolie Oli come into this channel for? That's an old channel, guys. An old channel on YouTube. Okay. Do you know what channel I'm talking about? I don't. You're a gamer. Yeah. Okay. That don't look. I don't know. Do you know what channel I'm talking about? Roly Jolie Oli. What up? What up? YouTube. Okay. Yeah. That's another content creator with your name. So, anyways, you are right. You are right. We're not a corporation, and I'm not, and that's why I'm standing here. Jolioli saying, I'm not a corporation. You can't enforce your capital letter law on me. I'm a man of the land and soil. I don't claim sovereignty. I'm not a sovereign citizen. You know what I mean? I'm a man. I don't have to claim sovereignty. Only God is sovereign. I'm a man of the corrupt dust, born of this soil, this here land, and I'm gonna go back to this dust sin that I came from. I'm a man of the land and soil. I came from the dust. I'm going to go back to the dust. They don't have authority over me. Understand, brothers and sisters, like that. He said, just thus shall be judged. You will be judged by the law that you go by. And Christ died, brothers and sisters, for standing for the law. They put holes in him. Anybody want to put holes in you? He said, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves, take up your cross daily, and follow after me. So you're supposed to do what he did. Does anybody want to put holes in you? Does anybody want to nail you to a tree? Does anybody want to kill you, stab you for standing up for the law because they perverted it? That's why Christ lost his life. Oh, yeah, he ate wheat on the Sabbath. That was against their law, right? You were not supposed to be healing people. He laid hands and healed people on the Sabbath. That was illegal. That was again. They killed him for it, brothers and sisters. That's right. So are you, remember, I also did foreknow who I did predestine to conform to the image of Christ. Conform? That is the word hados. He said, I am the way, the narrow way. Conform. Deny self. Take up your cross daily. Luke, you shall ever be my disciple. Take up your cross, follow after me. So it's endure to the end to be saved. That's salvation. That's the word sozo in the Greek. Study it. You can learn the definition of these things. It reveals the aletheia. He said, I am the aletheia. I am the horizo. I am the hados. I am the aletheia, and I am the horizo. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The only way you're going to get to the truth is the narrowing of translation. Yep, narrow is the way. We've got to narrow off ourselves. That's the idolatry, brothers and sisters. Porneia is the Greek word for idolatry. Latria is to serve. Idol, our idol is what we see. I see our eyes or statues or, yep, lies is what we're doing. We're distributing lies to our eyes. We're not following his agape, 2 John and 6. We're not walking and following his commandments. We don't love him. Remember what he said? Peter, I'm not asking you if you phileo me. Do you agape me? That's the word love. Where we see the word love in scripture, scratch it out, put the word A-G-A-P-E. That's the word agape. You'll find that is defined in the book of 2 John and 6 that says agape is to love, to walk and follow in the commandments of God. Take up your cross, brothers and sisters. Be condemned by the world. Do not go by these laws, these traditions of men, holidays, celebrations. I'm doing it in a little bit higher capacity here. But understand, brothers and sisters, these are the commandments. He commands us to take our cross up daily and follow after him. He never says we can let it down. Once he has given us that cross to bear, we have to go out and take it up every day. OCD. That cross, carry it down on Christ daily. You too could be OCD like me. You thought I was talking about some kind of excessive compulsive disorder, trying to blame everybody with the, polar, like the weather, bipolar, what happened to the weather? There's no more seasons. Oh, wait, you got some of that ADHD. They can label everything. I got that ADHD. Whether people call me all kinds of schizophrenic, manic depressant, bipolar disorder. I even got that ADHD home security, guys. Don't you worry about it. That's right. I got the ADHD home security too. Security? Hello, security. I'm feeling a little secure over here. Can I get some security over here? Come on, guys. Where's all my flashlight cops? No, anyways, the police. You guys are failures. Got to end it with letting you guys know that these police are just absolutely failing. They're God-given. They were there to protect the land. Are they protecting the people? I don't think so. There will be men like myself, brothers and sisters, that will be willing to stand in the place of people who will not. Most people are going to go down as the silent majority. I hope you're not one of those. He said, be not partakers in their unfruitful works of darkness. Expose them, brothers and sisters. Do not hide that light that he gave you, not to shine above others, but do not hide it behind that bush. Have your lamps trimmed, but be burning bright, he says. Don't hide that light. Again, I say, he said, your loins are supposed to be girded in his service when he returns. I hope you're doing something. I hope your life serves purpose, not just about latria, serving yourself, but I hope that your service is to others. Hallelujah. There's two kinds of people in this world, brothers and sisters. There's service to self beings. You'll know them by their fruit. and service to others, okay? Iron sharpens iron, brothers and sisters. Go out and preach the gospel and be condemned by the world. You don't have to do what I've done, but this is what God has put in front of me. So I'm going to stand with my son. I will not turn my son over to law enforcement and let him be put in a prison. You understand? And I know that God, if I've done anything wrong here, that God will judge me. God will judge me. You will be judged by the law that you go by. So if they persecute me for not going by their law, then so be it. So be it. They put holes in me, so be it. They feel like people are nailing me right now, guys. I really feel like they've nailed me to this, place right here where I'm at. I can't go nowhere. If I leave, I'm going to have trouble like I did the other day. Okay? So, yes, Jesus did die. What are you talking about? He didn't die. So, anyways, thank you guys. 3 things that if you want to donate, which is not required. First of all would be the PayPal for the link, the Cash App. And I do have the super chat. So whoever again gave me that super chat, it is working. Finally, guys. Finally, the AdSense got working. So, Adriana, if you want to chip in towards their rent, she's lost her job. Going to still have to pay $1,300 rent. And I have an attorney bill. So don't worry about the ministry. We'll be okay on the ministry. The ministry is going to keep preaching the gospel here until they take me to prison or jail or kill me. So I'm not going to stop. That's my promise. So if you come here for that, that's never a cost, guys. You know that. You don't ever have to make a donation ever. Just come back and iron sharpens iron. Preach the gospel. Talk with each other here in this chat. I'm sorry I'm clogging this channel up with this this situation. Hopefully it's an example of how I'm supposed to act in situations like this. I'm not going to fold and just give my son over to prison, So, ladies dropping the links, best moderator on YouTube. Thank you for all my other moderators, guys. I love you so much. Okay, so links are in the description. I'll see you again soon. Again, if I can get a little rest here and maybe pray a little bit, I'll be back on. If not, I might just rest down and we'll see you again tomorrow. Whether we day 10 or day 11 out here, and lack of communication, but they'll know that I tried and you guys got to be a part of it and be a witness. That guy out in the desert, he really tried to get those people to talk to him. No matter what the case, they stood down, they come out, they shoot us. I don't know what the outcome is. Thy kingdom come. Can you do me a favor? And again, I don't pray for prayers for people. I don't ask for prayers. I cover myself. God already knows what I'm going to ask him for or talk to him about. So it's not like this is going to be new news. I just need to spend some time with him. But if you can pray for his will for me, if he wants the cops to come here and shoot me in the head and my son goes to jail, or my son gets away from this and I go to prison, or neither of us go to prison, whatever it is, will you just pray for his will for me? I don't want to change, guys. Don't get in the way of the will. Oh, please bring her back, God. I love her so much. Guys, sometimes he knows what he's doing, right? Sometimes I thank God, right? It's there. Garth told it. So that's what I go by back home as Garth, right? So anyways, just kidding, guys. But no, he knows what he's doing, and his own counsel, after his own counsel, in his own time, for his own pleasure, right? Let him do the work in you, okay? Be the vessel. Let him be the captain, okay? Play the background. Let him be the lead singer, right? Give him all the fame. Edify his name. Glorify his Shem. Glorify his law. Our Father who art in heaven, glorify his name. Not Jesus. Not Shiloh. Not I am. Glorify his Shem, his law, his authority. Glorify it by standing up for it, brothers and sisters. I hope that I'm an example to the Father, and then when history is written, okay, that I've done what it is that he has wanted. I still have a temple to look after, but I want to serve a higher purpose while I'm here. I'll get to come back again. I'm eternal, man. You are too, brothers and sisters. We're all eternal. And we're going to come back again. We go to someplace in the sky, all right? Okay, some of us, we figure this out a little bit sooner than others. I'm just a temporary meat suit here. an eternal spiritual. I am apocalypse. I am revelation. Remember, I'm a temporary meat suit, if you want to call it. But this isn't who I am. Nothing I've ever tasted, touched, felt, anything. This is not who I am. I am the spirit that came into this flesh, and I will leave this flesh. So please don't associate the mistakes of this flesh and with who I really am. I'll meet you on the other side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I won't be in this body, but I'll still be this eternal being that I am. It never ends, brothers, sisters. It never ends. All right. Much love. Uh-oh. We got a pharmacist or a physician in here, a psychiatrist or a... So anyways, much love, guys. Somebody's got always could come in and piss on the Wheaties, huh? You know them by their fruit, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for all your contributions to the ministry, brothers, sisters, and for the support. Again, yesterday, maybe that was too. Elijah's a little overwhelmed at all the people who have showed him love. Okay, so again, thank you for letting me. Oh, now he wants me to go to a hospital. Which hospital you want me to go to there, 98? Which hospital? I know the plans. We talked to him too, guys. Brothers, just got to give him a little bit of, got to feed the trolls. Lady helps me. It helps the viewer count a little bit. Lady reminds me of that. Mental health services. Okay, so, okay. For what there? Let's have a little conversation. What's your issue with my, is it that I'm holding my son hostage out here in the desert? Is that why I need to go to a mental hospital? And I have his wife held out here hostage and the cops have been driving by my house. Is that why I need mental help? 98? Or is it the gospel that you hate so much? The word of God that's just ripping you apart? Is that what it is? Okay, I got to go to the mental hospital, guys, because I kidnapped my son from letting the law throw him in prison for 5 years. 5 years when he already done all this time, and we can prove it. No, I don't hide behind God, you idiot. I'm a teacher. You don't know God is a title, you ignorant fool. God is just a title. Who you talk? Explain who God is. Please don't moderate the troll. Tell me who God is. Tell me who God is. Tell me who God is. You mentioned God. Who are you talking about? Which God? What do you mean? There are many gods, right? He said you shall have no God before me. So which God are you talking? What do you mean? Explain yourself. You are so vague. I mean, you've got this degree and you think I should go to a mental hospital. So you don't believe in God? Okay, well, that's okay. Guess what? God makes sheep and God makes goats. God makes vessels of wrath and vessels of mercy. Vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. You're a goat, so don't worry. Get into heaven, Bronx! Get in there now! I said get into heaven! No, you're getting in there, Bronx! You're gonna go in there whether you like it or not. I said get in there, Bronx! You think that's what's gonna happen to you, Bronx? You think you get forced into heaven or something, Bronx? You think that's how you get to heaven? No, God's got a place for you. Don't you worry your little heart there, goat. God doesn't expect us to change a goat into a sheep. And if you want into the gates of heaven, you got to claw your way in there. So don't worry. No, you're not going to get forced into heaven, little man. Little boy, little childish. We're not even matured. Yeah, I'm calling you a child. You're an antichrist. You're either with Christ or you're an antichrist. Don't worry. There's a place where they're not going to give a shit what you've done. No, there's no walls. They're not going to vet you, and they don't care what you've done, and they'll just let you come on down, huh? So don't worry. You're not going to get forced into heaven, Bronx. You won't. There's a place for you. It's called eternal destruction. Lake of fire, the abyss. It's called hell. It's called busos, abyss. Abyss is the word, one word in the English. Revelation 9:11, they says they have a king over them, a messenger, An angelos, a messenger and an angel are the same thing. A king. Yeah, that messenger of the abyss is what the word says. That's the word you call hell. That's the word busos or bathos. It's what you lack. He said he will throw the people that lack his people. All of us are the people, whether you believe or not, in the place of no knowledge. That is what is hell, because you lack that busos. Yes, I will throw my people in the place of no knowledge. Good luck. Don't worry. Enjoy your eternal gnashing of teeth. It's okay. Not trying to turn. Guys, listen. You can't change a goat into a sheep. It's not possible, guys. Don't even try. Don't even try. It's not even worried. God already made them vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. So guess what? I don't normally cast my pearls before swine. You're swine, Bronx. You're absolutely swine. But I gave you just a little glimpse of where you're going to sit. You are a vessel of wrath. Nobody's trying to change you in here. And I hate all religions. I spew out all religions. Christianity, pagans, Mormons, pagans, Presbyterians, pagans, Protestants, pagans, Lutherans, pagans. They're all pagans. All these religions are pagans. Guess what, that Bronx? You thought you were stumbled into a religious channel, didn't you? You're going to cause some division. I don't like any religions. Name one good religion, Bronx. I'll have a conversation with you. I guess we'll keep conversation. So, name one good religion then. Come on. I don't believe in any good religion. They're all filthy swine, like you. They're antichrist, most of them. They go after Baal in the Grove and idolatry. They either don't believe. He says he'll throw the hypocrites, the lukewarm Christians, and you into the lake of fire, the abyss, no place of no knowledge. He's got a place for you. And Islam too. They're lunatics. They're Christians, basically. They worship Tammuz and that's all that lunar Easter, and the kitty touch comes from Tammuz, the son of Satan. He married his mom. Kitty touch, they like rabbits. Tammuz love rabbits. Islamic, they're Christians. They're the same thing. Well, Christians, they believe that Christ was born on December 25th. No, that's not racist. That's a fact. Jack. These people go after Baal in the Grove. 99% of religions bring in this tree worship, Baal worship, sun and fire and tree. Yeah, they do. All their festivals, holiday. No, I'm not racist. I'm calling you an antichrist, Bronx. You were either with Christ or you're an antichrist, and you are definitely an antichrist. You're not a sheep. You're definitely a goat. And nobody in here has tried to turn you into a sheep. No, I'm good, Zach. We're just toying and playing with the trolls. We're just playing with them. So, God only created one race, you idiots. The human race, you stupid fools. There's no races. Your guys are such idiots. You're foolish. You know that? You're fools. You're fools. God didn't create races. He only put more melanin in our skin according to how close he put us to the equator, you idiot. All of you people who say there's no such thing as races. God created one race, the human race, man and woman. If you don't believe anything other than that, please leave my chat right now. You're a racist. I'm calling you out now. You ever had that told to your face? You're a racist. God didn't create any races. One race, the human race, man and woman. There is nothing else on this earth, anything else, than apostasy to God. See? Why don't you at least act like a human being there, Bronx? Can you at least act like a human being and not like a child? We're just playing with this troll. Normally, I don't ever let him in the thing. My moderators will have him out of here. We're just kind of toying with this troll here a little bit to show you guys. You know these people by their fruit. Suppose he's an atheist. And so don't worry, Bronx. Like I said, God's not going to force you into heaven. You're just a goat, and you're a vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. What the word of God says, you're an unbeliever, and you will be thrown into the abyss. And so don't worry. Nobody's trying to change you. Okay? It's not even their job to change anybody in here. It's not our job. Love thy enemy like I love thyself, like I love thy neighbor, right? You're just an idiot. You just don't know. Ignorant or an idiot, one of the two. I think you might be a little bit of both. But I'm done. I don't normally cast my pearls before swine. So I'm kind of not keeping the word of God, because he tells us, do not keep company with vipers. Bye-bye. Get behind me, Satan. That's you, Bronx. You're an adversary to Christ. That is the word adversary. Oh, man, I casted more pearls, brothers, sisters. Shouldn't have never gave him that definition. All right, guys, I'm not, like I said, I'm not. Thank you, moderators, for not moderating out. They're normally quick, my moderators, to have them out, that gentleman out pretty quick, guys. But we're just, you'll know them from their fruit. We're just trying to learn a little bit from the situation. And I didn't condemn him. I judged him with righteous judgment. So, but I was very serious. I don't believe in any religions, guys. I believe in the Ruach HaKodesh. I believe in studying it one word at a time. I follow the canonized interlinear Textus Receptus of the 66, 13 books of the New Testament and 53 of the Old. One word at a time. You should study them and you'll get a whole different meaning. And even, I don't care if you know any of that. Are you taking up your cross? Pastor Tracy's asking you a question. Are you taking up your cross? You ever have a pastor teach you how to take up your cross? Go see Brother Jim at Grace and Truth Ministries. He's my teacher and my pastor. He'll teach you how to get across if you don't know how to get across. Okay? Come back and I'll teach you how to get across. This channel's been a little bit plugged up with some of my standing up for the law for my son. That's part of what we do. We got to stand up and use our bodies as this, vessel, right? It is a temple. It's to serve him. So we're not under the flesh of the testament. We're not supposed to serve ourselves, right? Deny self, take up your cross. See, are you taking up your daily? Okay. I love you guys. I really do. And thank you so much for coming back. I really try to focus more on the gospel. I know that I had somebody say, Tracy, we've seen some people come in and I think they're you're getting a little bit with this situation that you're in, but guys, I got to protect my son. So, but I have to let you know it was him. It was my son who said, Dad, not enough gospel, Dad. I'm watching people are coming in and they're leaving, Dad, my son. So he cares about you guys. He doesn't want to see, he knows that people come here for the word of God, not to hear this legal tough that the Father has us into. So my apologies. I love you guys. I love coming in here and having this channel. And I hope I can prevail through this. Okay. And come back again. And I'll try to, and I apologize for my guys. I've streamed for thousands of hours and I don't cuss. So I don't need to mix those two. So if I just come and preach the gospel, guys, I won't cuss. So I apologize. Okay. No, he's not in jail and it's a legal warrant. I will not let them arrest him. Okay. He's not in jail. I have him. Okay. Every boy's dream, they want him, but I won't let him. They know where he's at. I'm not on the run. Okay. I'm not on the run. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not running. I came right where the cops are here. They know I'm not running. He's not on the run. He's not absconding. I kidnapped him. I told the county I would. If they issue an illegal warrant, I said I will arrest him first. I'll make sure he's safe. And because this is Grace and Truth Ministries, and they know that guys, they can't get away from the fact that I teach and I pastor predestination on this property, which is High Desert Grace and Truth. I don't care if it's registered. This is High Desert Grace and Truth. All this property will be donated. I'm going to have to sell this one, but never sell this one, will be given. And it already is parked because this is where I teach and pastor from this platform. So I'm providing my son, not running from the law, a place of sanctuary until we can get this legal situation taken care of. Okay. And I'm making sure the attorney is in contact with the sheriff's office. We're doing this legally. We've never threatened any violence. Yes, we're not adhering to this illegal warrant. Okay. But we're definitely making sure that we're not going to let him be kidnapped again by the system and be put in jail for something that we have the evidence. If we didn't have the evidence to beat it, wouldn't even try. But he's already done his time, and the system is attacking him. And a lot of it has the fact that it was me, guys, who's been pushing out here. So he's 25 years old, but when your children turn 18, you don't stop being a father for them, okay? He made a mistake, guys. He got involved with some people that were part of the probation office. I told you that I'm exposing, and that's what's kind of messing with him. So thank you guys for your continued support. Yesterday, it was good to see his spirits up. Today, he was a little bit more down. Well, after his spirits got up yesterday, he got so high, I started drilling him for all that old information. So we had to kind of go back and look in his phone and go, oh gosh, I forgot I had that. He was reliving a lot of stuff he's tried to move forward from since that time. So today was, I think it was a tough day for him. He just seemed a little broken today, guys. So I love my son, and he's a good young man, and he loves the Word of God. And I think he's standing up straight too and saying no. And he's doing it peacefully too, guys. He hasn't turned to violence, and he's done everything he was asked to do times 2. What a good young man is. He made a mistake, and he did a crime, property crime, not a violent crime. And he did time. He was the only one out of 5 guys. One of them was a rapist. 5 guys, the only one to serve any time. I know that must have been God. So, guys, I don't know. I don't know what else to do but to stand up for him. I can't let him get thrown in a rape cage, guys. I don't want the chance of him being hurt. I don't want to see him hurt. He's been nearly broken in pieces in these last couple of years. Imagine thinking you're getting off probation. You already did everything, and they tell you in the last 3 months, hey, you got all your probation pretty much to do over. What? So, and he did it again. You know, there was some discrepancy with some of the hours, but they're not writing anything down. So we'll be back to talk about this probation system, why it's analog. Tomorrow, I want the media out here, guys. I'm going to pound you guys for somebody to call for the media. Tomorrow is a media day for me. If John doesn't call tomorrow and clear this up, we're going the media. We're only about, I think we're only about 4 or 5 hours short, guys. Seriously, I showed you guys on the stream already. Adriana worked and went to those nonprofit organizations with Elijah and volunteered her time. She worked a full-time job and then went to work with her husband and volunteered, signed her name up for volunteer for a charity, you guys, her time. Okay, a nonprofit organization, worked all week, and to support her man to try to get him, bring him through to the end. She did those remaining 55 hours with him. His name was there signed up as a nonprofit. She signed up below and gave her time. What a good lady that he has. So let's not forget Adriana too out here. I've been making this a lot about Elijah, but this is too a lot about her. A woman stuck, a wife stuck in the middle of her husband being ripped, and potentially, if she didn't have a dad, if he didn't, and this isn't me, this is God, but if he didn't have a dad like he did, her husband would be in prison right now. So let's remember Adriana out here is suffering too, guys, and she's really not being mentioned enough, that she's lost her job now because of this, and she's, at any moment, her husband could be gone for 5 years. So I appreciate her being tough out here. She showed her colors today, guys, that she's a tough woman. Like I said, we just kind of had a tough day out here, and it's just all the discussion and stuff and going through is just tough and just kind of broke us. You know, our spirit was so different yesterday, but the spirits are going to be high again tomorrow, guys, and not like that. I just want to lift them up. So it's going to suck because I know it's going to be the Memorial Day weekend, and we don't do holidays, meaning I'm just going to say everything's going to be such a buzz tomorrow, and we're going to be stuck down here again, you know, locked down here and here behind these locked gates with tractor tires behind the gates blocking all the entrances and not letting these cops come in and take them. So it's wearing us down, but I'm telling you what, we're not done yet. So I'm just telling you, it was just one day, guys, and I'm sure he'll be fine tomorrow. He's better already at the end of the day. We had dinner. He made, you know, like I said, we you know, we're fine. It just, like I said, I know what it is, guys. Imagine having to go back and think about all the things years ago. Remember that you did all that work. He's so confirmed. He knew all the names of all the people. He remembered all these other people. The one guy that he went to jail and started. It was like he had to relive all that time. And I don't think that he's thought about it that detailed for that. It's just he's tried to move forward. So I feel like I beat him yesterday. And that's what we're seeing it today, guys. You know what I'm saying? It just, because I kind of worked him hard yesterday going, we've got to get these numbers straight. Like, and all the numbers are all, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's been a long road for the young man, and I want him to have his life back. So thank you for being a part of that, guys, and your support, all your comments and your calls. If you want to make it do anything tonight, call with this information, call Lake County Non-Emergency Line and call Lane County Non-Emergency Line and ask them, why are you still doing this to this young man over there? Get that warrant. It's illegal. We just listen to it. Say whatever you want. Just do not threaten any violence, guys. If you do make that call, the Lane or Lake County Sheriff's Office. I think we should keep bugging them. I'm not going to bug them. Stop until they let my son get his gold slip back. Okay. He already should have had it a long time ago. So much love and always agape. Okay. I'm Apocalypse, guys. I'm going to keep bringing this truth no matter what. I'm going to keep pulling these lies off and showing these things over and over to you again. Hopefully we get back to the gospel and some of these celestial markers again. Okay. 1024. It's on our doorstep. Don't forget about that celestial event that's coming. Okay. Always agape. I am Revelation. Whoa.